ever thought about reevaluating your life to the point where you could be in your 40s and decide that you're going to venture back into professional sports? Hey! A lot of guys fantasize about this, and I can tell you almost no one does it because the amount of work it takes to do what Kevin Porter is doing is almost unheard of.
Ready? Let's go. Nice! Yeah, there it is! Kevin Porter, to me, is the real deal. I think he's going to make it wherever he goes, despite his age. Hey! Nice.
He is caps lock, bolded, +++ type A.
His drive is there. He's got the drive of an NHL player. He's got the drive of a pro athlete.
And reach, pull, reach, pull, reach, pull. He's motivated. You see him on the ice every day. I come in, he's already listening to music, thinking about what he's gonna fix. Right, and turn, push, push, push.
I don't know if the word failure has ever come up. I don't know if he's ever failed at anything.
What a tip!
Given the careers that he's chosen, knowing that in a second your life can change, you have to just go after it. No regrets.
Here we go. Forward! You believe in yourself and you really want to do something, the sky's the limit.
Just take it easy.
All right, let's go. Ciao. All right. My name's Kevin Porter. I'm 42 years old, and I'm trying to continue to play pro hockey. Okay, love you. See ya. Bye. I started playing hockey before I could walk. I actually have a picture from the KW record with my dad and I couldn't even stand, but my dad had me on bob skates to try to get me, you know, that forward motion. I wanted to play pro hockey when I was a kid, growing up. It didn't happen when I was 16 due to an injury. It was a shattered thumb, and I had a cast on for many, many weeks. And I wasn't able to play that season. By the time my hand was rehabbed, the AAA, AA teams were set for the year. And unfortunately, with life and school and everything else, the dream, it just kind of slipped away on me. One or two pieces of toast on. These are just small. So how about two?
Sure. I first met Kevin at work in an emergency department. We went on our first date, and we've been together ever since. The way you're doing this is stressing me out.
Let's make breakfast together. No, don't do it that way.
AKA Ashley takes over.
Yes, coach.
He still is, a very driven person, knows what he wants and goes after it. It comes from having loss, right, in your life, and knowing that in a second your life can change. And we see that every single day in healthcare. And you absolutely have to grab the bull by the horn, so to speak, and take each day and make it not mundane.
Parents separating when I was 8. As much as you don't think that affects you, it does in a lot of ways. My Nana, who I was very close with growing up, she lived with us my whole life. She ended up passing from cancer. Then I got cut from my hockey team with 6 other guys. So when you're a kid, that's kind of damning, right? Your world's falling apart there. And then March 31st, my mom passed. Her boyfriend owned a restoration company. I used to work for him a bit in the summer, just mixing mortar and carrying bricks, and my mom went with him for the day to help out. So they were up on the scaffolding about 30 feet. A portion of the wall collapsed, knocking her to the ground about 30 feet, and it broke all the planks, and then I would say about 10,000 pounds fell on her. All those experiences, they shape you, right? For the better sometimes. Like I could have gone down a different path and like totally lost my mind, but I tried to, you know, be a good boy most of the time and do well.
The drive for Kev comes from losing a person that you're not supposed to lose until way later in life, so his mom. And given the careers that he's chosen, He's chosen them for a reason so that other people don't hopefully have to go through something as terrible as he has had to at such a young age, or so that he can be the person that's there for them. The night Kev fell, we were maybe a month into dating, and I had just come home off of a night shift, snuggled right into bed, and the charge nurse from the day called me and said, "Kevin's here." And in my head, I'm thinking, so he's a paramedic and he's a firefighter. They show up in the department. And then she said, no, he's in resuscitation, room number 1, which is where you bring people back to life, and he's on a backboard. And I thought, good God, I need to get over there.
This was in November, Christmas lights up, Sunday morning, 7 a.m. Good chance there's someone inside, right? So we're in rescue mode. In our head, we're going in to see if anyone's in the house to do a primary search and find where the fire is, knock that down. And so we broke the door open. When I broke the door open, there was also a chain on the door. So we had to give it another shot. And when I went in with a nozzle, my partner Todd Sindri was right behind me with my captain Mike Waite. And the second I went in on my knees and started hitting the fire, the whole main floor broke. It just split wide open, and I went down on my back, landed on my bottle. My partner Todd fell in. He went forwards because he was kind of leaning on me to get in with the hose. And we fell right inside where the front porch is, right into the basement. It's about 12 feet. When you're in that situation, like, everything flashes in front of your eyes. Like, I thought about my mom, I thought about hockey, I thought about my wife, I thought about my wife's family, my dad, like just everything within like 2 seconds, not even 2, like 1 second. I can't describe it. The Grow Up fire, what they do is they bypass the electrical to the street meters. So they dig into the foundation and they wire all this stuff up, and it's real dangerous. Fortunately, we kind of recognized, don't touch anything.
Any one of those things could have taken his life. The fall, a fire could have started. His partner falling in on top of him if there was smoke from the fire already.
You know, it was kind of an awakening. I don't know where it came from, but I just tripped the switch with me. Like, I was in the ambulance and I'm riding on the backboard and I'm thinking, what am I doing? Like, this is a dangerous job. Like, I'm on a backboard. As much as I love it, I was really torn. I'm like, is it worth dying for?
You hear people in healthcare speak about these horrific instances, whether it's a paramedic, a nurse, a firefighter, that they've been involved in, and you may only have one in your lifetime that kind of sets the stage for the rest of your career, the rest of your life. And I think for him, he thought about it for a very long time.
You start looking at your whole life and looking at things that you wish you would have done or did, or should I be doing this? And hockey was always right at the front of my mind. And I started to think, I'm like, you know what? I miss it dearly. I feel like I was maybe robbed a little bit of an opportunity when I was younger. And so I said, okay, that's it. November 10th, 2010, about 8 o'clock in the morning, I knew I was gonna play hockey again.
Nice shot, atta boy, good shot.
First time I met Kevin Porter was really on social media. He has a tremendous presence on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And here's a 42-year-old guy, similar in our age group, and I felt really inspired, and I thought, you know what a challenge it'd be to help the guy out and just hear his story.
Call forth here?
Yeah.
But then go sneak around.
Okay.
That's a simple.
Eddie and I met through social media, and then one day he just appeared in the rink.
Yep. Yep, back door. Here we go. That's it.
He's a former NCAA Ohio Buckeye, and he loves hockey. His passion for the sports, it's really contagious.
Where would you rather be on a Wednesday afternoon at 2:46 in the afternoon? This is where I am. Oh, where we are.
I don't know, preparing for a playoff game. Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
I've trained a lot of guys like Matt Stajan, the Calgary Flames, Ryan O'Meara, Edmonton Oilers, Matty Foy, Mike Kamler, Jason Spezza, and they all have the unique quality of really just being coachable.
Too chubby. Just relax. Softer hands.
Discipline, listening skills, execution. Kevin is really in that ballpark.
Oh, there he is. You guys got to keep. What are you wearing in your head?
There's a lot of good people in the sport.
Let's go, buddy.
Eddie's been coming out to work with me and have some fun, and he's good to be around. You got to be around good people. He gets excited, I get excited, like we already talked about what we're doing tomorrow.
Back door, back door. Hey, that's it.
I guess I've known Kevin for approximately 12 years, 13 years, and I met him through work. He started as a paramedic.
There you go.
I think every shift we've worked, we've talked about hockey. Kevin always asked about my boys playing hockey, and once in a while we'll say, I need a goalie, I need somebody to shoot at. My son Jeffrey looks up to him so much because of his drive and motivation.
So you expect that in the game too a lot. Like every left winger is going to try to do that now.
Jeff Taylor, coming right.
That was pretty cool. In the dressing room, I talked to him about like school and family and friends and all that type of stuff. For his age, he's a very skilled athlete. He's been really putting in the work, and he's looking to get something out of it.
The clock's ticking though. He's not getting any younger, so he's working harder and harder every day. I think people are aware that he is doing something with his hockey. People have asked me about it and they said, what's Porter up to? What's he doing? Is he playing pro hockey? And so we've explained to people that he's setting a goal and he's trying to attain a goal. But he's not one to come out and just say, this is what I'm doing. He doesn't tell everybody. But if you ask him, he'll answer.
I met Kevin last summer. I did a Jim Thompson prospect camp, and he saw a little bit of what I did at Jim Thompson camp, and he seemed to like it, and he really improved even in just the couple weeks that I was there with him. And he's been improving immensely over the last year with me.
There's all the list we're gonna do today. He's got a long list of things to do. So before I go in, I kind of say what their weaknesses are, and then I kind of customize it to that and what we did last time and what we can add on.
If I'm doing the quicks and I'm just like this, you're not really underneath yourself.
Okay.
Whereas if I'm up and my knees are kind of, see how they're kind of hiking up?
Okay.
We'll continue that motion a little bit. It will drive your body weight forwards.
Okay.
And go, knees up, 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 up.
I can tell the difference,
See how it pushes you forwards a little bit more? In my sport, there's 4 disciplines, and I was ice dance, which isn't like the throwing of the girls, it's not the jumping, it's literally just skating. So I did 15 plus years of just edge work and skating and mobility and transfer and everything that hockey players are now getting into. I literally worked my whole life on it. So for me, I just think I bring expertise in the skating skills, but it's also a mental aspect. There you go, that was better. How's that feel?
Better, I just kind of did it naturally, I just didn't overthink it.
He has a disadvantage of his age, right? You see all the NHL players, they're so young now. So they're really looking for these young guys who are, so it's gonna be a little bit more difficult for him. But he takes everything I give him and he works hard and he never gives up, and I think that his potential is whatever he wants it to be. It's really up to him. See the difference?
Huge.
Okay, we're done. It's tired. Way better though.
So right now we're going to Brampton, the 2018 Brampton Beast Free Agent Hockey Camp. It's been a while. Brampton Beast are the East Coast Hockey League affiliate to the Montreal Canadiens and Laval Rocket. Almost 100% I'll be the oldest guy there, but I don't care. I mean, I just have to worry about doing what I can do, and you know, the coaching staff they'll pick who they think fits their toolbox, right? You know, different guys, different leadership qualities, different presence on the ice, speed, tenacity, defensive. You know, you try to do everything you can as a player to be the complete package, but it's always someone that's a little better at little things. Anyways, here we are, Powerade Center. We made it.
Hey, Barnes! Hey, with you! Woo! Just hit that.
So,
how did it go today?
Yeah, I felt good. I made some good plays. I made a couple plays where I got out of position. If you get caught out of position, it's real tiring getting back into position. Yeah, that's that. Go home, eat, sleep like a log, and I think I'll feel better tomorrow because I'm more of a morning guy as far as playing, so train.
Some young guys may have the skill and the talent, but they don't have the drive. And so I think there's an example to be made of him for others out there when it doesn't seem so easy.
She's been very supportive. Like, we're trying to have a baby, and it's been super, super challenging. It's been really hard. It has been happening. That's kind of my part of the deal, is to uphold. She wants to have a family, so it's been really tough on her, and people, they may not understand or think I'm crazy. Or, what are you doing, right? You got 3 great jobs, and shouldn't you be having a family and a dog and a cat and fish and, staying at home and taking your kids to Wonderland? And I'm like, yeah, like, that'll happen eventually, I guess. But, I guess right now, I'm trying to do everything. I'm trying to work and train and be a husband and trying to have a baby, and it's a lot, man. I don't know if the mental thing is more tiring than the physical sometimes. I think it's all mindset. I think a lot of this whole journey, it's mindset, because how many times, like, I could have just said, no, man, I'm packing it in, going to buy goalie equipment, or just play men's league or something. But I think I'd be cheating myself. There's got to come a point in time, most definitely, where I'm not going to be able to compete at this level. I know I still can, and I'm doing it. So, we'll keep doing it until my body tells me otherwise, or I just, decide that it's time to move on. But, now it's time to drink a BioSteel shake, have some pasta, maybe even a cider, and shut her down and get ready for tomorrow. And tomorrow's gonna be a different day, because I like to skate in the morning. So, and we're skating in the morning. So, we'll see you in the morning. Jim Thompson's become a good friend of mine and a mentor. Jim played in the NHL for 10 years with a variety of teams.
So I started in Washington. I got traded to the Hartford Whalers, and then I got traded to New Jersey Devils. And then from there, I was a free agent and signed with the LA Kings. And the first game I got called up, we were in Chicago. I had the game-winning goal, and I fought Stu Grimson and Mike Peluso. Both are tough guys, and the rest was history. That was a great time for me playing in LA. Then we go from LA to Ottawa. I got picked up in the expansion draft, and then my career ended in Anaheim with a shoulder injury. I had a good NHL career in my mind for a kid that wasn't supposed to make it. I knew the way I played in my body, you know, it hurt to reach out. It was hurting to I was getting pain, and the pain was too much to put up with, or, you know, I had some Novocaine, you know, cortisone shots, and that would feel good for a couple periods, and then the pain would come back, and then the next day you'd be in severe pain because of the aching, and it just became unbearable. So, 2 operations, and my career ended in Anaheim.
But the ones that I am really disgusted with, and I hate to say this when the kids are listening, what George Laraque said about the bunch of pukes that fought before Stu Grimson, Chris Nyland, and Jim Thompson, the reason that they're drinking drugs and alcoholics because they fight. You turncoats, you hypocrites, there's one thing I'm not, is a hypocrite. You guys, you were fighters, and now you don't want guys that make the same living you did.
Well, the transition was not good, and depression hit me severely. Drank more, started getting into more drugs, and I ended up in the NHL rehab. And November 17th of this year, I'll celebrate my 10th year sobriety. But you know, a lot of my comrades who sadly either died from overdose or suicide, and you know, I know because I was 3 times ready to take my life. And I'm here to tell you I didn't. And it was a very, very dark time for me. So that was the aftermath of my career, you know, and rebuilt my life, and I'm very healthy and happy now.
When I told you at the start of the summer, okay, you gotta be noticed. You got noticed by our head coach and our GM just because, you know what they said? That kid wants to be an Aurora Tiger. And you actually played really well.
When his career was over, he decided to, you know, teach hockey, be a mentor. He's the owner of the Aurora Tigers, Ontario Junior A Hockey Club.
Okay, so that is the package, correct?
We became friends, and I did some work for him this summer. With the young kids, I like to try to give back a bit as well, and makes you feel good, and to be a bit of a role model, right? If you can, and share my experiences. So Jim's allowed me to do that, and he continues to be a big supporter of what I'm doing.
Kevin, we met through social media, I believe. He ended up coming out for a skate with my prospects, my JT prospects.
8 players. First player will go here, second player will go there.
You know, I just saw an inspired middle-aged man trying to live out his dream. And I don't deny anybody their dream.
You get your head up, think to play ahead, say, okay, this guy's coming towards me, I'm gonna wait, let him go by, and then I go. Because when you go to camp, if you run into the guy, they're gonna go, blinders, get your head up, look around, right?
I'm not here to burst Kevin's bubble, I'm all about dreams. That's why when he asked to come skating, come, inspire us. He talks to my prospects, he's a guest speaker. I think he's got a great story.
So he's over here on left wing. Okay, now come over and support. Good, give him the puck. Get to the net, this is all good. Get a shot on net.
He was rough, you know, his game was rough. He's improved it a lot, he's done the work. Got a ways to go, but you know, when you work hard and you're passionate, good things happen.
The positives are he wants this. He's in phenomenal condition, and everything is in line. What he has to change is when he gets on the ice, where he lacks his hockey sense. A lot of times finding himself out of position because he wants everything now. And what I've been working with him on is slow it down. When it's time to forecheck. You know, when it's time to stay back, help your D, you know, be the high guy. You've got 2 guys deep, you can't be firing in there because 3 guys deep in pro hockey, you're done. And what happens then is they say the guy can't play position, doesn't have hockey sense, they cut you. So this is important stuff for Kevin because even though he's playing with a bunch of, you know, junior prospects, If he can't play position here, he's not going to succeed when he goes to his pro camps. And this is the biggest staple right now that we have to work on. Everything else is there.
You want coffee? I need another coffee. Do you want coffee?
Yeah,
All right.
I'll buy it.
All right, let's go. Just a tall blonde with milk and cinnamon, please.
Tall blonde with milk and sugar.
And cinnamon, no sugar.
Okay. Tall blonde with milk and cinnamon.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, it's all, thanks.
$4.97 driving up.
Okay. It's day 2, and this guy likes to skate in the morning, so if hockey games were in the morning at 7 o'clock, that'd be perfect. Maybe because I'm getting older, Ryan, and you know, older people wake up earlier, so they're, you know, they do things a little quicker. All right, here we are. Powerade Center 2.0. I got. Hey, go! Sorry. Have a shot! Shoot it! It's okay. We got the face off, right? That face off.
How you feeling?
I'm very tired.
Tired?
Very tired, yeah. By the time you get to the puck, like, I'm trying to keep my shifts very short. I'm trying to get out there, lay a hit, make a pass,
do something.
make a play.
Oh, there you are. So there you go. Nice pass. Go to the net. They're on you, eh? So
Yeah,
just
well,
try
I
to
know,
avoid
I
them.
know. Following the second game, I guess all the athletes from both teams went in, had an interview with Coach Chalk and Frederick LeMay. You know, how your play's been. They gave you a bit of feedback.
Sorry, Coach, what'd you say?
You mentioned my speed. He just says as you get a bit older, and he noticed it too when he played, because he played for a long time, your fast twitch muscles gets a little bit tougher. I don't know if I necessarily agree with the speed thing 100%, because I have a lot of video skating. I'm a pretty fast skater, so.
What did they say they liked about your game?
I like the hitting, how tough I am on the puck, how I go to the net, things like that. So, you know, I don't mind being the fourth line grunt, kind of utility garbage man cleanup player. It's, you know what, there's nothing wrong with it. If you can bang in 20 garbage goals a year, that can be a nice paycheck, right?
At the end of the day, it's all business. I need my East Coast players to develop to get to the American Hockey League. If I can get them to the American Hockey League, they may have a chance of getting to my NHL team. So the trickle-down effect hurts Kevin, right? Now, if there's an independent owner that said, I'm gonna take this guy and I'm gonna bring him in as an energy player, that's possible, but very rare. Because now you got the NHL team who's your affiliate, and they're going, why is he taking up a spot where I could have one of my draft picks there? That's the problem. And this is not a slight about Kevin. We're talking about reality.
Dude, there's a 42-year-old fireman in Toronto that has an Instagram page, and he wants to play pro hockey, and he will not stop. I don't know if he ever will, but he is a legend.
Yeah.
He posts his own. Have you heard of this?
Yeah, I sure have.
But is there a statute of limitations on a dream? Like, that's the question. Does someone have to get to you and say, you got to stop?
Yes.
Yes.
You think so?
Yeah,
I had to tell my best friend.
Yes, you do, yeah.
And I finally called him and I said, I think you got to think about maybe real life stuff, because you're making $500 a week. And if you want to bomb around the East Coast for 10 years, you're going to wake up one morning, you're going to be 30, and you're going to be saying, I just pissed away 10 years of my life.
Right.
Kevin, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Juan.
Juan,
Yeah, thank you for doing the interview.
Yeah, you're welcome. This is tough shit, man. Of course, I decide to do it when I'm 43, right? So I do everything the hard way in life. I always have. Everything's, you know, backwards and upside down. makes life fun though.
Look straight into the camera for me.
Do you regret you didn't do this when you were younger?
It would have been nice, but like I think when I got out of hockey initially when I was 18 or 19, I was pretty scorned at what happened. Getting injured, dealing with my mom, and dealing with all those changes in my life. So, I mean, I can honestly say I don't regret not doing it when I was younger because I was in a different headspace. I was just as motivated as I am now, but I was motivated to do something different.
Okay, interview number 4. Most people near your age are already with a profession, like, you know, they would have left it a long time ago, and you're still here, you're still pushing for that grind. Why do you do it?
It was kind of a part of my life that got away from me when I was younger due to some family tragedies. So, you know, I kind of did what I thought I had to do at the time, and that was become a paramedic and a firefighter. And I kind of feel like I got railroaded a bit from playing hockey due to family stuff, and then when going back to school, and then like the injury back when I was 16 years old. So, you know, it bothered me that I didn't fulfill that part of my life. So, you know, I gotta do it. I told a lot of guys at the camp today, I said, do it when you're young, because it only gets harder. It's just as much fun, but the clock ticks.
Let's say you made it straight to the main camp and you made the roster. What would that mean to you personally, and how would you take that opportunity?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't change anything as far as my work ethic, because I think my work ethic has gotten me this far, but it would make me maybe a little bit more relaxed in the sense that I could put something to rest a bit. You know, whether I play this year or not, I'm gonna work just as hard.
Whatever happens, Sunday, whatever news I get, you know, I'll accept and I'll move on.